Oh my gosh, guys. It's the triple-headed amethyst ender dragon. That is so rare.
These are the funniest fake Minecraft speedruns of all time. This first speedrun begins, and there's already something fake about it. No, it's not his inventory, as it's completely empty with the first slot selected. And it's not even his game mode, as he's in survival with 0 XP. But look at the speedrunner's difficulty when he opens his menu. It's set to normal. The problem is, we clearly saw the speedrunner had his difficulty set to easy when generating his worlds. This means that the footage of him loading into the game and his spawn are actually two different clips edited together, and the runner is using a set seed, which will make more sense very soon. So the run begins with the runner mining some wood, crafting some tools, and entering the nearby village. And the loot in this village chest is completely normal, as all are completely legitimate items that can spawn here. But hold on, did you catch that? At this frame, while the runner was looting the chest, he gets a Discord notification containing a link to a YouTube video. And while that may appear innocent, let's take a closer look. If we copy that exact same link down and search it on YouTube, we're led to a video titled The Top 5 Speedrunning Seeds for Minecraft. And let's take a closer look at the first seed mentioned in the video. Look, the spawn is the exact same, with a village and cherry blossom biome. And the loot in this village chest is also completely identical. It's pretty obvious the runner is using this set seed to gain an advantage, which is why he faked his world generation earlier in the run. So the runner continues by breaking some beds, gathering some hay, and beginning to search for a nearby ruins portal. And without using any speedrun techniques, he seems to think the ruins portal is under this random block. Okay, there's no way it's actually located here. Oh my gosh, it actually worked. But how is that possible? Well, let's rewind the footage to right before the speedrunners started to dig down. In this entire patch of completely normal flowers is one flower that reveals this is completely fake, which is this blue orchid, because this specific flower can only spawn in a certain biome, a swamp biome. But as we can clearly see, this is not a swamp biome, which means the only way it could be here is if the runner placed it himself off camera, likely to remind him the ruins portal was under this patch of grass. So the runner digs down to the portal and begins to loot the chest. And luckily, he finds all the normal items that you'd usually see here, which actually allows him to use the obsidian to complete the nether portal. The only issue is, he didn't remove the blocks of crying obsidian. And with crying obsidian in a portal, it's impossible for it to light. Well, the runner pulls out his flint and steel anyway, please don't tell me this works, and he actually lights it. I don't even want to know how he pulled that off. So the runner lights his portal, spawns into the nether, and thankfully everything looks normal. He's still in survival mode with the same items in his inventory, and he doesn't have any strange potion effects. Well, let's actually see if that's true, because let's play this part of the footage and tell me if you notice what just happened. Did you catch that? The runner clearly touched this lava, but didn't take any damage at all. And he clearly doesn't have a fire resistance effect, as the top right corner of his screen is completely empty. So I'm just gonna be honest, I have no idea how that just happened. Either way, the runner eventually locates the fortress and starts to fight some blazes. But now, the runner has suddenly acquired a fire resistance effect. But first, we clearly never saw him drink one, and secondly, he never even had one in his inventory. Well, let's slow down this part of the footage and look a little closer, as when the runner is seemingly staring at this wall, you can actually notice the slightest cut in his recording. And at this exact frame, we can see the faintest message of a command giving the player a fire resistance effect. It's pretty obvious he gave himself the fire resistance with a command and tried cutting it out so we wouldn't notice. So with the fire resistance effect, it's pretty easy for the runner to collect 7 blaze rods, when he then makes his way to a nearby bastion, where thankfully, when trading with piglins, every one of his trades is completely legitimate. But I think the runner got tired of the trades taking too long, because he randomly decides to grab a piglin? And now it's in his inventory? What did the piglin do to deserve that? So, after literally stealing a piglin, the runner collects his pearls and needs to head back to the overworld. The only problem is, he doesn't have enough obsidian to build a nether portal. Well, the runner pulls out some extra wool from his inventory and starts making the shape of a portal. Alright, this has to be a joke, right? What am I looking at? No way that actually just worked. So the runner makes his way back to the overworld, where a normal speedrunner would begin searching for the stronghold using his eyes of Ender. But this speedrunner has a slightly different idea, because he instead heads for a nearby village, specifically this village house. And on the surface, this house would appear to be pretty normal. But boy, would you be wrong. Because the speedrunner looks at this completely normal wooden plank and opens it, revealing a ladder all the way down to the stronghold. I'm not even gonna question it anymore. So after somehow making their way to the stronghold, the runner finds the end portal room and spawns into the end, where they find something incredibly strange. A pig with a saddle on it? Well, the runner must think this is some sort of magic pig because he starts talking to it.
Pig, pig, may you fly high in the sky.
Okay, if that actually works, oh my gosh! He's on a flying pig and literally flying all around the end. That's actually so cool. Well, the runner flies straight towards the ender dragon, but his pig dies, and he falls all the way to his death. This next speedrun begins with the runner spawning directly in front of a village, where he's in survival mode, he has no items in his inventory, and he's facing completely straight. But take a closer look into the corner of the screen, where you can spot a singular piece of wool. This reveals he's already been playing on the world, and he forgot to pick up the item after killing a sheep. But giving him the benefit of the doubt, the run begins with him gathering materials for some tools, collecting beds, and getting some hay. All completely legit, until the runner stumbles across the dream house. Did I miss an update?
No way, guys. Oh my gosh. We found the super ultra rare dream house.
So the runner enters the dream house, and inside, is that the real dream?
Guys, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky.
Well, right next to dream is a chest with all of the items you would need to enter the nether. But I think the speedrunner is more focused on the fact that he found dream in his world.
OMG Dream, can I please get an autograph? I love you.
This guy is out of control. So after collecting all of the items from the dream house, the runner crafts his nether portal and makes his way into the nether. Now, it would appear as though the runner gets extremely lucky and spawned directly in front of a fortress. But let's rewind the footage to see what really happened. If we play the clip frame by frame, we can actually see that the runner spawned in a completely different location, but edited his recording to make it look like he spawned in front of a fortress. So the runner enters the fortress and goes to loot this fortress chest. And inside is all of the normal items you'd expect to spawn here. A saddle, nether warts, iron ingots, a gold chestplate, Big Bertha. Wait, what? This guy is starting to scare me. So, after destroying an entire family tree of blazes, the runner collects 7 rods and begins to search for a bastion. But on his way, he once again spots Dream.
Dream, oh my gosh, you're back.
Well, Dream actually starts to lead the speedrunner to this strange wall.
Dream, where are you taking me, dude?
Well, he pulls out a torch from his inventory and places it on this specific block. And when he clicks the torch, it reveals a secret passageway all the way to the bastion. What? So, after summoning a secret tunnel, the runner makes his way into the bastion. But let's take a very close look at the loot in this bastion chest. He finds some gold, obsidian, and even a few arrows. But he also finds this potion of slow falling. And while it may appear innocent, this item can't spawn in a bastion chest. Remember this for later. So the runner locates some gold, crafts some ingots, and starts to trade with the nearby piglins. And while all of the items he's getting from the trades are completely normal, the amount of each item he gets are completely fake. Because first, he gets 3 blocks of obsidian, even though the max per drop is only 1. He also gets 6 ender pearls from a single trade, even though the maximum is 4. And he even gets 2 potions of fire resistance, even though there's a max of 1. The runner clearly messed with the loot drops for the piglins to give himself an advantage. So, after collecting all the pearls he needs, the runner builds a portal and heads back to the overworld. Now, like previous runners, this speedrunner completely ignores throwing his eyes of ender like a real speedrunner would. Interesting. Well, do you remember when the speedrunner found a potion of slow falling from the bastion chest? He drinks it, and just watch what happens. He just phased through the floor and fell directly into the stronghold. This guy is crazy. So the runner enters the stronghold, and using a common speedrun technique, he easily locates the end portal room. But there's just one slight issue. After placing all of his eyes in the portal, he ends up being just 1 eye short. So how is the runner supposed to light the portal and head into the end?
Dream, save me, please.
Okay, no way this is gonna work. Oh my gosh, it's Dream. So Dream comes out of the floor and looks at the speedrunner, giving him the final eye of ender that he needs. And then he disappears. So after collecting the last eye of ender he needs, the runner can enter the end. Now, when the runner spawns in, there's already a few problems. First, he doesn't get the achievement for entering into the end. Secondly, he spawns directly onto the surface instead of an obsidian platform. And lastly, he finds a chest with some extremely overpowered items. And with all of this overpowered loot, the ender dragon doesn't last long at all. This next speedrun begins with the runner mining some wood, crafting a few tools, and locating a nearby village, where he's selecting the first slot of his inventory, he's in survival mode, and he's facing completely straight. But let's take a look at this specific blacksmith. On the surface, it may appear to be pretty normal, but take a closer look at this specific torch. In a real blacksmith, there is always a torch on this wooden plank, but in this speedrun, we can actually see that the torch is on this oak log. This was clearly changed by the speedrunner off camera as a way to mark out this specific village house, because the chest inside contains gold, apples, a prismatic reaper. Wait, what? Those poor villagers. So after destroying an entire family of villagers, the runner needs to find a nearby lava pool to craft a nether portal. The problem is, the runner doesn't see a single lava pool anywhere near his spawn. So the runner decides to open his menu and navigate to the resource packs tab, where he decides to put in a very specific resource pack. Is that X-ray? This guy is literally cheating. Well, the runner applies the X-ray texture pack, and all of a sudden, he can see every single lava pool in the game. This guy isn't even trying to hide that this run is fake. So the runner digs down to the nearby lava pool, and using his water bucket, begins to craft the nether portal. But this guy must be new to speedrunning, because he clearly has no idea how to build this nether portal. Well, the runner turns to this wall and appears to be checking his inventory. But when the speedrunner turns back around, the portal has magically been completed, when clearly, just a few seconds ago, it was nowhere near close to being done. Well, if you play this part of the footage in slow motion, you can actually see that these 2 items in his inventory switch. Clearly, the speedrunner cut the video, finished building the portal off camera, and pretended like nothing happened. So the runner lights the portal, spawns into the nether, and luckily, things appear to be pretty normal. As his spawn is completely legitimate, he doesn't have any potion effects, and he starts looking for a nearby fortress. But the runner must have gotten tired from running, because he magically starts flying? But wait, we can see his hotbar. He's clearly in survival mode. How is that even possible? So the runner flies all the way to the fortress before locating the blaze spawner. But at a first glance, doesn't it appear as though there's far more blazes than would naturally spawn here? Well, if you take a closer look into this part of the fortress, fortress, you'll actually notice this floating blaze spawn egg in the air. And you can also see these strange particles floating around that very egg. And if you move ahead a few seconds to when the runner is leaving the fortress, you can actually see that a player is holding this egg after his invisibility potion ran out. It's pretty obvious he's the one who spawned this unnatural amount of blazes. So, with all of these blazes, it's fairly easy for the runner to collect 7 blaze rods, where he then begins to search for a nearby bastion. And he actually manages to find one pretty normally. There's just one slight issue. This bastion is located on the complete opposite side of this huge lava pool. And because the runner does not have any ender pearls, how is he supposed to get there? Well, the runner casually just starts walking on the lava. Is that even a Minecraft feature? So the runner enters the bastion, and thankfully, his trades with the piglins appear to be pretty normal, as all the items he collects are completely legitimate. But now is a good time to take a closer look at the timer the speedrunner has had going the entire run. While it may appear to be innocent, this is yet another way the speedrunner is cheating. Because let's compare 5 seconds of his timer to 5 seconds of a real timer. Look, his timer is actually moving way slower. He's literally using a slowed down timer to get a faster time for his speedrun. So, after collecting all the pearls that he needs, a normal speedrunner would likely build another portal and head back to the overworld. The problem is, the runner doesn't have enough obsidian to build a nether portal for himself. Well, he starts running in a random direction until he actually stumbles across a fully built nether portal. But hold on, if we rewind the footage, we can actually see this nether portal being built right before he gets there. This was clearly built by the same friend we saw spawning blazes earlier in the run. So the runner enters the portal, heads back to the overworld, and begins to search for the strongholds. And using a popular technique known as triangulation, he locates the strongholds and enters the end portal room. But this is where things get weird. The runner finishes placing his eyes in the end portal, but for some reason, it looks like a nether portal. And when the speedrunner jumps in, is he in the nether? In the end? What am I even looking at here? He's literally in the end, but every single block is like the nether. That portal must have been very cursed. Well, do you remember when earlier in the run, the speedrunner got the prismatic reaper? Well, he pulls it out and the ender dragon doesn't last much longer. Subscribe for more fake Minecraft speedruns.